Alright, let's look through my sketchbook. I started it, nope, that's the wrong way. I started it on January 1st, 2025, finished it March 14th, 2025. This first page is a drawing of a little felted bear that my mother made. I started wanting to work on drawing from life more often. I was feeling excited for 2025. Started with some blind contour or near blind contour of my hands, where I kind of cheat by glancing at the paper, but most of the time I'm looking at my hand and drawing. These are completely blind contour drawings. Here's a drawing of a cardinal that I really liked, but I was drawing it at an angle, so it looked a lot more proportional. A little annoyed by that. More blind contour drawings. I saw a photo of some pussy willow and drew a bird on it. Here's the first self-portrait that I did. Couldn't get my face shape right. It was driving me nuts. Tried again. I'm doing them in pen, so it was kind of hard to get it right. This is a drawing of my room. Right here is when I figured out that I cannot, in fact, picture things in my head, because I could not picture a tennis ball. This is when I looked back at the cardinal and I realized that it was very wonky. Here's a drawing of a bag that split open on my grocery run. And some fish. This is a drawing I made while playing Azul, which is an amazing game, by the way. I looked at my hand and noticed that my fingerprints have really interesting textures and that the texture on your finger varies from each part. So I drew that. Really like this drawing of a pen cap. It's honestly one of my favorite drawings in the entire sketchbook right now. Drawing of me with my hair up. I was watching The Office and Andy tore his scrotum. I'm testing my Copics with some alcohol markers. My first Ko-fi sale was on January 8th. I was trying to imagine drawing what a horse would look like from beneath when it was grazing. This is reminiscent of the draw a box exercises. I can't remember if I was I think I was just using like a piece of paper, because I can't eyeball perspective very well, but I'd like to work on that more. I tried to do something else and I got distracted. These are some pen doodles of a character. They didn't come out right, but that happens. This is where I realized that I wanted to get back into block printing. I can't really draw. I do like how this one came out. This is Alias, a character that I play in D&D sometimes. He's got these sun earrings that are his arcane focus. Here's some goldenrod. I really like how this drawing turned out. I'd like to do more in that style. Here's a little self-portrait of a selfie that I took with my cane. This is a bridge that I go to sometimes to draw and just hang out. And there's always trains stuck on top of it. Redrawing my profile picture on Threads, but I never used it. This is just me feeling frustrated about my health and just nausea's a lot. And these are the things that I use daily to try to help myself. This is me trying to draw a doctor's office from memory, because I was thinking about how I can't picture things, but I can still remember things. And like, kind of remember what they looked like, even though the details aren't exact. This is one of my favorite pages in the entire sketchbook. I just scrolled through my Google Photos from the past few months and then stuffed it all in to one spot. And I think it turned out pretty cool. This is a self-portrait. This is me standing on a log with my shoes. I did some stomping on that log. It was pretty satisfying. Here's another sketchbook page. I really like this house. I want to build it in The Sims. I've built something similar, but this chimney is just so interesting to me. And this was on January 8th. Here's me trying to dance and falling into my bed. Because I did not feel good. Some days I just don't feel up to drawing, so I just stuck random things in. This is by, I think her name is @PrintYourBird on Threads. I'll put some of her work on screen because it's really good. One of those days where I'm just not that interested in art, and I still scribbled some things on my page. This is a map of our house that I kind of drew with all the labels. Just talking about how I can draw poorly and just kind of fuck around. Mess around. I can mess around. These were some random drawings from Threads people suggested. This is a drawing of one of my mutuals. Tried to draw myself with a different pen, didn't like how it turned out. I use matches to light my candles because lighters I always burn myself. And I had just finished an entire box, so I dropped them all on this page and drew them one by one. A lot of the heads broke off. Here's some drawings of my friend's dogs that I cut and pasted from a different spot, from a different sketchbook into here. I really like how this one turned out. There's like a lot of texture. Here's one of, I think, the only collages in this book. I've been away from my collage materials, so I haven't made any. These are more stickers from Print Your Bird, and this one is one that I got from KTS Canvases, or KD's Canvases. And I was already tired of winter at this point, January 14th. Here's a gouache painting. There's a speed paint of it somewhere. Just messing around with, drawing from references. Drew these birds. Started out with just a couple, and then people on Threads wanted me to draw more. I like how this boat turned out. I think it's pretty cute. I tried to draw a BoJack Horseman from memory, which was a struggle. And then from reference here, and then I drew him again, but in like a completely different style. And these are 3 things that you'd probably recognize if you've watched it. This is my Sim, Jackson Mays. He was my 2nd generation. He's been dead for like 9 generations of Sims. I'll try to attach a picture. Some sliced avocado, one of my favorite meals. This is the cast of Distractable. Some Pikmin. This is from Uzumaki. And thinking about all those spirals, and he draws them in a what's his name? I'll insert some pictures because I want to mess with that style again. Here's some various drawings from life and maybe random Pinterest. I don't know who that guy is. Oh, and this was me showing off the process of how you dissect a fruit fly. A fruit fly pupae. I tried some 30-second figure drawings. I don't know what website I used, but it had the option for like a gender-neutral disabled model, so I tried that. Here's some more drawings of various figure art. All really short, and I like how these two turned out especially. And this one. I just feel like I captured the line of her body very well. Here's some longer sketches that honestly turned out worse, in my opinion, but that's okay. Was feeling really discouraged about art this day, so I just picked up my markers and started scribbling. And that's what came out. Here, I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I tried to scribble them while the scene happened, which was pretty fun. This is one of my characters. You can see her gloves. Tried to draw some grapes, but it's hard to do without any shading. This is that bear from here. And this is the horrifying rabbit from Watership Down. I've been wanting to design a little comic. That I drew one in my old sketchbook, and I'd like to recreate it and improve it, but I'm trying to find ways to make the rabbits a bit more uncanny. I haven't been able to do that. And this day I was feeling limited by my pain, because I have a lot of pain in my hands. I started recording some of my pain and joint issues directly in my notebook. Here I'm brainstorming for block prints. I would like to create this crow at some point. I think it's got an interesting shape. And I love upside down ducks. When they do this, it's very cute. Here I experimented with oil pastels for the first time in years. It was pretty fun. I like how the duck turned out. I want to do some more of that. Here I'm brainstorming for my coneflower print. And then I drew it immediately after scribbling out this one. I lost the reference for this drawing. Always disappointing when that happens. This is a knit stuffed animal from the book Victorian House Cats, I think. My mother made it for me. I was watching Avatar when Aang grows out his hair for a bit. Is that a spoiler? I don't know if that's a spoiler. Either way. I love the way that Aang can, in fights, move so fluidly and have so much motion without even landing a single punch. More Avatar. And more Avatar. This is probably one of my favorite drawings in this sketchbook as well. I just love how well it flows. This was during the dragon dance scene. One of my long weeks. This was right before my move. A struggle. Watched Ponyo. I would like to paint this in my next sketchbook. I think I want it to be like a full complete spread. It's just so pretty, this scene. This is another drawing that I wanted to make. Someone told me to draw a dick on thread, so I did. This is, oh, I do not know his name. I'll have to find it. But a man who wears dresses and is positively majestic. Here I have another stuffed animal. My darling, little badger. He hangs out in my windowsill most days. And this is a cat. Here's a sketch for a painting that I really need to finish, and I haven't. This is Mercury GQ1. One of the people that I'm mutuals with, he makes music. I was trying to draw a person, did not work, really got frustrated and gave up. Here's just a quick drawing of a frog that I saw. This is one of my linoleum block prints. Here's the original. just stamped it on a bunch of times. And here's some sketches. This is the one that I went with. Here's a redraw of my sprouted onion and some possums that I was considering drawing. Thinking about mice and trying to imagine an interesting textured snail. I would like to do this eventually. Tried to draw the characters of Bob's Burgers from memory. Realized that I have no idea what the style looks like at all. And then this is once I actually had a reference. There's a house sparrow outside my window the other week, and I painted it. I think the painting turned out pretty cool. This is Daryl J. Hembrow, who posts like daily photos of himself. I think I draw him again in the sketchbook. Here's the sketch for my stag beetle. I would really like to do chicken eventually. You can see a lot of ideas in the sketchbook, even if I haven't gotten to them. And then here's that print. The only thing that I changed after this print was carving out this area because it felt too black. Another sim. These are twins. This is me hanging out. Oh no, this is this is when I broke my ass on the steps when I fell down from there 4 steps down, 3 steps down, directly onto the ground somehow. I hurt for days. All the Boys for Now songs got stuck in my head because I was watching Bob's Burgers. Awful. Here's some prints of my friend's cat. His name is Toothless, and he was standing very tall. But the more I looked at it, the more it looked like the "I'm just a chill guy" meme. So tell me if you see it facing forwards or backwards. This is one of my murderous adventures when a spider got into my room, escaped its container, and I had to crush it. Sorry, little guy, but you escaped containment, so I had to kill you. This is a little drawing of Brick, who is currently napping. My friend's dog. Scribbling what it looks like when I sit at my desk. Here's one of my sketchbook sessions, things on my desk, which I posted as a short. Oh yeah, here's another portrait reference. He looked very peaceful with his eyes closed, and it felt like a meditation to me. And I like how it turned out. This is a crow in like a 0.5. I used the rest of my stamps because I sent out so many orders that I used all of my stamps and I had to restock. This I drew while I was sitting out at a dock very recently, but I had never filled this page, so I just drew it randomly. Stink bug climbing up my mug from an old photo. This is some frustrated art, just feeling absolutely exhausted. My energy felt like when you wring out a little thing of paint to get that last little tiny bit on your brush, even though you have another tube. Just a lot of pain in the lately. That's part of chronic illness. Sometimes I just scribble until something comes out. I tried to draw myself and it didn't turn out like looking like me, which is a pretty common occurrence. Here are sketches for one of my gouache paintings. This gave me a really cute idea and I went with it. Here's Agad by Agad Cartoon Guy on Threads and Instagram. I really like his character because I can just scribble that in like 3 or 4 lines. And it's very recognizable as him to me. These were my spring onions. They are so much bigger now, and I need to cut them up to use more of them. Here's a drawing of a dock that I went to. And then that's the other perspective. Oh, I forgot to even draw the light poles. And one more page. Just a drawing of what it looks like from my backyard. And that's it. I can't believe I finished this entire book in, what, January, February, 2.5 months. Where I haven't had a sketchbook in a long time. Pretty proud of myself.